Tag. History for Foos.
Guten Tag.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
Auf Wiedersehen bis morgen. I mean, I'll see you. Goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, we're already German. I almost said Russian because I
took German in high school, bro.
Did you
Cheated through the whole semester.
But you know a little German because
I know how to count to 10 fast.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wow. And then one time you sang "I Want to Hold Your Hand" in German.
Come give me deine Hand.
My favorite is we were in the green room and we found this out. And we were fascinated that you could understand German.
Sometimes I forget the stuff that I know, and I surprise myself.
And we had you. I played we started listening to one of Hitler's speeches, and you're like, "Never mind, I don't want to hear this anymore." It was like a what do you call it? It was like a parlor trick until we whipped out the Hitler speech, and he was like, "This is too dark," and then it just ended right there.
Yeah, we know that we used to play bingo in our class in German, so we could practice. We would do conversational stuff too.
When you went to Germany, did you speak German at all, or did you try, or were you
tried.
Fuck that? Did they look at you differently? Did they look at you funny, or were they cool? You were trying.
They were just surprised, but they were impressed. That you
They were cool with it though, right? That's the thing, is that culturally they didn't make fun of you.
Yeah.
For trying to speak their language like some other cultures do with people. Not naming any names, Mexicans.
Here it is, bro. Here's Hitler's speech, and I'll read it to you.
Oh.
Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Führer. Wuchs der Hof und Sturm bricht los. I want to read the red part because it means the extermination of somebody.
That's where we were. This is exactly where we ended up last time. Is that that's what it was. You started to read it, and then you stopped. You're all, this is fucked up.
Because he starts off as one people, one ram, one leader, one powerful phrase. Well, and then he goes, people rise up and storm, break loose. And then the other one, of course.
Right. And then it gets dark.
Jungen.
Oh,
they say
man.
Jewish Jungen.
Jungen.
Yeah.
Juden.
This phrase meaning elimination of Jewry was used by Hitler and his regime to justify the persecution of Jewish people.
Wow, man. That is...
So
happening right now.
Ausschlachtung des Judentum. So he was outlawing jewelry.
He was outlawing jewelry.
Yes, it's spelled Gewry.
Okay.
This phrase meaning elimination of jewelry was used by Hitler.
Okay.
Yeah, man. He did all that with off TikTok and Instagram.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
He just stood on top of a bar, bro, talking shit one day, and nobody said, "Shut up, you're drunk."
That's the problem. That somebody didn't get up and what if the first time he made a speech in a bar, someone was ripped and just started beating the shit out of him? Would we have saved all the problems that we had, or would there have been a different Hitler?
Yes, man. Here it is, bro, the whole speech. Du mein Arbeit für richtig hast, ob du glaubst, dass ich Fleining geschaffen bin, dass ich gebraten habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingerissen habe. And everybody cheers.
I'm afraid to even ask what he just said.
You gotta have feelings behind your words, bro, for people to believe you in a big
you have
audience.
to speak passionately.
Just like a stand-up comic, bro. You gotta have confidence in what you're saying. Even when you're doing a live play, in a theater, they don't get no shitty actors,
right? Right.
They gotta actually the person
How
has to believe.
How do you think though that our president does it then?
Because I'm pretty sure Hitler used all his anger that he had.
Right.
When people say you'll never make it as an artist, you dickhead, you first of all you have half a ball.
Right.
You have half a testicle, Because I remember I had a joke that Hitler had one testicle.
I heard that.
And imagine, man, what he would have done with two balls.
Is that?
So basically, when he was like saying hi Hitler, bro,
Right.
he wasn't like trying to like salute anybody. Because when he did it, why would he hi Hitler himself? I think since he was he only had one testicle, he probably was unbalanced, and he had to raise the arm. So when he had a hard on, he won't lean to the right.
I don't think that's why.
He won't lean to the left because he's all right wing.
That's where it came from. That's where all that started.
And actually, he was born in Austria,
Right.
and he's Jewish. Just not
Half Jewish,
but,
right?
Yeah, but not like Hasidic or like that. He's like one of those Jewish that like Seinfeld.
Like from Beverly Hills.
Yeah, failed artist, bro. But a good motivator and very
Like from Beverly Hills.
pragmatic and very you know how you say it, when people talk, people listen.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Any idea what that word is?
Yeah, I think that's the definition of that word.
Like if he had a stuttering problem, he would have never made it, bro. Like he could never be a speech. He wouldn't have no motivated people with those speeches.
Right.
Especially then, like, to have the little mustache, where did that come from?
That's the thing I want to know is that did he invent that and then kill it?
Maybe because
But Charlie Chaplin had that mustache
before,
too.
but during the same time too. I think maybe back then in Germany there was a lot of strong men in the circuses that had that mustache. So he
that's
figured,
right.
I'll get a little mustache, and people think I'm strong, even though I'm 5'2".
So who do you blame for someone like Hitler? Like, do you blame the kids who made him feel ostracized? Who because obviously there was, I'm not like, Jesus Christ, this is such a hard subject to approach, I guess. Like, because obviously Hitler had skills in talking to people, orating skills. He had ways of uniting people socially. Like, is there part to blame? Like, this is such a fucked up question.
Bro, it's like this.
Are the people who made fun of him part to blame? Are the people who made Hitler also part to blame? Or
I think the people that arrested him the first time was trying to take over Germany. They should have hung him that day.
right?
And that kept him alive, and then he had a chance to be in prison to
Why would they-
write on Mein Kampf.
Okay, is that where that came
Yeah,
from?
because he did that little Doug Stein had the whole bit about it. The bra, the whatever I don't know what they call it, but the German bra where
Brassiere, yeah.
that Hitler was already promoting and talking in the streets. He had a big following, but then he got in over his head. They decided to take over Germany that day, but they got arrested. Some of his dudes were murdered, and they put that fool in prison.
Right.
And that's when he wrote Mein Kampf right there.
No way.
He should have been thrown and he should have been hung that day, you know,
Right.
but he wasn't.
But what was his crime for being in there?
For inciting that
that riot.
fake coup or that January 6th event, whatever he did.
Oh shit!
Same thing.
He did. So okay, I know nothing.
Yeah,
about. I know nothing.
They started off at a beer hall.
Right.
The beer hall brawl, whatever. And
that's what that is about. The brew hall. What was it called? The beer hall.
Hitler's
something.
beer hall.
Beer
hall revolt.
Yes.
Doug Stein has a funny, great bit about that. He makes it all funny.
Oh, that's right.
You got these drunk assholes over here. Yeah, there it is. So they were taken down by the German army, bro.
So he already had by then
followers.
That's the thing is you have a power to do this, but but
he didn't have enough people. So what happened was he got arrested and he wrote Mein Kampf in prison. All right, Fidel Castro, same thing, does the same exact thing. He gets arrested, they let him live, and he writes another book to promote and get everybody from Cuba to revolt against the government.
Yes, but yeah, that's true. He did, and he got arrested. I know a little bit about this.
That was
because he was a lawyer.
That when he tried to take over the country the first time and he got arrested, Fidel Castro, I don't know what they called, but for example, that revolt is called. They became rebels after the revolt. Just say they attacked June 14, they became the June 14 rebellion.
Right.
Just kind of just like the Irish one.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So anyways,
like,
man.
But the thing is like with me, like with Castro to me was it was a good cause because he was trying to get rich people out of his country. He was starting a rebellion for his people. And then I think where Castro went wrong is that he was like, God, I like being in charge.
You know what's crazy?
So I'm just going to say that we're in a constant state of revolution now.
Ted Cruz has changed his narrative, kind of like he has like a fake he made up like a fake not really stolen valor, but a fake valor.
Yeah, okay.
Because his father fled Cuba when Batista took over.
Oh, so his parents were the rich guys.
Batista kicked all the landowners out.
Right, yeah.
And he was the first president to hire black people as police officers. Like
Batista was.
Batista.
No way,
yeah,
really?
Batista, bro. He was the first. Before that, black colored people did not have higher positions. Batista was a dark ass fucking Latino, like me. Maybe a little darker, but he was like me or George Perez, that color.
Oh, okay.
So
he wasn't a white Spaniard. He wasn't like
Nah, man, he was dark.
Like these Criollos.
Nah. He was dark, bro. He was darker than Fidel, darker than Che, and look at how he looked, bro. Like a gangster, bro.
Oh yeah, that's a fucking Hispanic.
And that fool fought. He fought to kick Spain out of Cuba back in the days, bro. He ain't no fucking spring chicken.
Okay.
He fought to kick Spain out. He fought a lot of wars, and then that fool was elected president, bro, and became basically like a dictator. But he fucking let the mob. That's him right there in The Godfather.
That's really it's really
the fake
him?
one, though.
Or is that
the actor? But it's him in the movie.
It's playing Batista. Holy shit!
So he lets all the
Cuba next.
All that mob shit that was going down in Cuba when the casinos. No one even knew about that, bro. It was that Batista. He was like playing ball with America. Oh yeah, man, you want to come in here? There's some oil. Oh, that's fine, whatever. So everybody was all right, but the poor people on the cover, like, there was no middle class, basically. And they were not opening up. They were making money, but they were not opening up hospitals, or
nobody was getting taken care of.
They were not opening up schools,
Yeah,
but they were arresting people, and they were keeping poor people out of the casinos.
Pay attention. Wow.
You saw that one in the and Fidel. His family was rich, bro. So anyway, getting back to Ted Cruz.
Okay, yeah.
Ted Cruz has this narrative that he fled Cuba, but he fled everybody thinks that he left during Fidel Castro. That's a big lie. He left during Batista, bro.
He left during the Batista days. So he was
living large.
Right.
He was living large before Batista came in.
Right.
And then so did Ricky Ricardo. Ricky Ricardo left when Batista came in.
Yes, I do know that. So here's the thing: is I didn't. So Batista was a good dude then, in the way that he was getting rid of like all the elites that were trying to take over his country.
Yeah, he got rid of everybody.
I mean, at the time,
yeah.
That's the thing is like I want to stress good dude when I say good dude because sometimes, it's like I believe. Like a lot of these people who are leaders, even to this day, start out with good intentions. And then you get to a certain point of power where we all, obviously there's that whole like, what is it? Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. I think there's some people who get in with not good intentions at all. But like in my mind, I always thought like Castro came in with good intentions. Like, his thing was, I want to save the people. I want to be a rebel. I want to and then he gained power and was like, well, I'm just going to be a piece of shit now. Or maybe he's not. Maybe we just think he's a piece of shit because that's what the propaganda we're told. Right. That's the thing too that I'm starting to understand. Dude, as much as, again, we like to say at the beginning of every episode, this is not for your book report. This is not for your school. don't fucking listen to what we say. I learned so much from this fucking podcast to the point of where I'm like, holy fuck, history's repeating itself, or history has repeated itself, or what we're about to talk about today, that we lived through history, and I don't know about you, but I didn't even fucking recognize it. You know, and there's all these things, but you learn about things that happened and you compare them to today, and they're the same thing. That's the thing, bro, is like we're not, I feel like what we're going through in this society right now, the so-called what is happening, isn't fucking new. It's none of this is new.
It's new to people that are like kids, like who are millennials, Generation Z, because they're watching it play out live.
Sure, but
we did it, bro.
But we
have to go to a paper to read it.
Right, but when you sit here, because I hear people on both sides, left and right, go, well, this is the worst it's ever been. Can you believe what's happening right now? The division in this country, it's the worst it's ever been.
A person like that is being fed that algorithm all day long, bro. Like, that person doesn't know how to put their phone down and go take a deep breath outside.
Dude, what the fuck, dude? There's the whole 69, this country was super divided.
But they make it sound like every day you walk, it's like that video of This Is America.
Yes. This is the other thing too, is like Germany is a great country right now. It's a prosperous country. It's doing well. And at one point, it had threatened the entire sovereignty of the world. Okay? So when we sit here, we go, what's going to happen next?
Oh, man.
We're Germany.
When I was thinking about Germany, man, when I was in Amsterdam.
Right.
And the first time I went there, okay, I saw these things, right? And I didn't know what they were. But then the second time I went and I ate nearby and I started walking around, and it's a whole Jewish memorial, bro. And it's in like brass, all the names. And I look around, okay. And then this is a Jewish neighborhood. Was a Jewish neighborhood,
right?
But when Germany came in, they came into Amsterdam, to Holland, the Netherlands.
Yes,
and they bombed it. We did
the last one, but go ahead. No, we talked a little bit about it.
They bombed the shit out of Rotterdam,
right? Yes,
because they wanted the harbor, the port,
right?
They got either to get boats into Europe through there. So in Amsterdam, they just grabbed all the Jews, bro, and they took them out. And then after World War II,
75% they killed.
But after World War II, it was like mass. And funny, in America, since the war was so far away from us,
right,
that we're lucky that we don't feel like, we feel prices going up, you know. And there are people that'll tell you, like, you know, it's crazy, man. During World War II, when they were like, there was a shortage of cotton, other commodities like metal, brass, copper, steel, clothing, because they needed to make they needed clothing to make more army suits to send people out there to go die. So that's why it would piss off white people back then to see black people and Mexicans wear a shitload of clothing during those times.
Oh, is that what it was? It was like,
that was a big fight about the Zusu riots. That at a time where you look at white people, normal America, in those pictures, the fool are wearing just khakis, bro, and a white T-shirt, maybe a hat, not a coat,
not a coat at all,
just a hat.
Okay.
But then you get these fucking black dudes from Chicago, bro, wearing fucking suits, bro, like zoot suits with a long chain, a big fucking hat. And the narrative was they were anti-war, anti-America, because they were not supporting like the thing. So that was a big, that's why those zoot suits said, fuck all these fools.
That's why the fucking sailors came in and fucked them up?
Yeah, that was like, that was their response to what they were calling us. I'm just going to wear a shitload of clothes.
I get
that
it.
Was the way Chicano would protest the war, and protest like the racism in America.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, what do you want from these people? Like, to say, because I love. We got a comment 2 weeks ago where someone was like, Butch hates America. And I was like,
Why do you hate America?
And I never, ever go to the bad comments about me. Like, I usually just ignore them. This time I was like, hey, dude, like, I love America. My grandfather fought for it. My dad fought for it in Vietnam. Like, I love this country. But I do got to understand, I got to sympathize with people of color in this country, brown or black, at those times. Maybe not so much this time in our lives, because I don't feel marginalized, or at least as much as my grandparents did. I don't know if I sympathize with these people. Like, yeah, fuck you, dude. You treat us like shit. And you're going to send us to go to this war, which is a worthy war. I'm not saying it's not. Yeah. But it's not like Mexicans are going to get treated like white dudes in the military in World War II times. You know, and that's the thing is like, yeah, fuck you, dude. I'm going to wear my fucking zoot suit. Go suck a dick. You know, I'm down with it. Sorry. I still love America, though. Don't forget.
But that's crazy how that they didn't know that. But when I was reading that the other day, it was they were mad at it because they wear so much clothing.
That is so fucking stupid, bro. That is a stupid reason to.
But there was like a shortage of clothing in America at the time.
Fuck out of here, dude.
Because they needed metal to make bullets and make tanks.
Yes, that's the other thing is that we're feeding the machine to go get our kids killed. This is what the Vietnam War was about. This is why we try to stop shit now. This is why we have technology. Nobody wants their kids to die.
When I was in Boston, like Massachusetts, I went to this town where that fucking the fighter was filmed at. I think.
Oh fuck yeah, the South.
Starts with an L, but South Boston. Yeah. And
the pride of the South Side.
I was talking to an old Boston Irish guy, bro. You know, they'll just give you a history of fucking Boston for no reason. He goes, over there.
That's me.
He goes, over there. He goes, over there. He goes, over there. He was all drunk. Over there. Over there. My mom. I worked on that. Anyways, he was saying that his mother and all the women in the town used to work at the shoe factory right here, bro.
Right.
And as soon as the war ended in Vietnam, not 2 years later, that fucking company went to Vietnam to do it for less.
Yeah.
So did we lose the war?
Right. That's the thing, dude, is that, again, you know, we sit here.
Yeah, they send it to South Korea, not North Korea.
Right.
But there ain't no not South or North, only one Vietnam.
I don't think at that time there was. And it didn't matter to us, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We didn't notice that was happening here, I guess. You know, but it is funny to me. It's like, you're mad at all these people taking your jobs. Who gave those fucking jobs away?
I know, dude. I wasn't.
Who gave those jobs to those people? It wasn't me. It wasn't Mexican people.
Did you go to that town in I don't know if it's Philadelphia or somewhere where Kodak was started? Oh, you look up where Kodak was started. Kodak. Okay. That's a Kodak moment. Remember?
Yeah, totally. I mean,
you say Kodak moment, they're gonna think like you're crazy, huh?
Right. Well, the
Kodak
only thing
Black.
Exactly. Kids are gonna. That's what people are gonna remember.
Huh? Yes, we were in Rochester. Look up
1888.
Look up Millionaire Row in Rochester. Check this out, bro. Kodak was so big back then in Rochester that all their executives were given mansions, bro, in fucking Rochester, bro. And they were all lined up, bro. They all lived together.
Oh man.
And they would drive together. It's called, bro. It's not nice looking no more. Some of them are hospitals now, but
right.
But so the company is gone, right? The company is gone, right?
Right.
Wrong. You know who gives you a parking ticket?
Wait, Kodak's not.
They're gone. They don't make photos, but they're still around.
They're still alive.
They're still alive as this. You know who? When you get a ticket, a parking ticket, you know who prints it out? That paper? That's Kodak.
That's heat printed paper.
That's Kodak.
No fucking.
So Kodak has a thing where they fucking they give all the parking tickets. Look it up,
dude.
So when I was in Rochester,
Kodak still exists
as a parking meter, right?
Other things as well.
But none of the actual cameras.
But it doesn't make film. It makes the instant film again though.
Yeah. So when I was in
wow.
So when I was in Rochester, I was talking to the club owner, He goes, how much people, how the town went down when Kodak closed. And I told him, bro, they're making parking tickets in L.A., bastards.
Bastards, bro. Fucking narcs.
So they fucking left, bro. And then they could have been doing that in their town and making money.
Go back to Rochester, you
Rochester.
fucking piece of shit.
By the way, Rodrigo chased a fucking person snatcher in Rochester, I think.
Like chased one down?
Yeah, he didn't catch up to him, man.
Of course he didn't.
He fell.
Good for him.
No.
Though. Good for you trying.
There was a black lady talking to the on the phone.
Uh-huh.
And this crackhead runs up and snatches him from her.
Okay.
And then Rodrigo's chasing that fool.
It's natural selection in my mind.
Rodrigo starts chasing that fool. And then another fool starts chasing him. And then, like, Rodrigo said he could hear the husband on the phone telling the guy, tell my wife to just give you $10, please. Tell my wife, give you $10, please.
Dude.
If you're a crackhead, bro, you're gonna get the $10. Stop running. Give him $10, man. Let's just stop running.
Just give me the purse back. Keep the money.
We told a cop that there was a guy who was flashing. He goes, "Oh, okay. Where'd he go? Over there. All right." I went the opposite way.
All that for nothing.
It was the hoodie hood.
Of course.
There was a guy, and you seen this scam. He was about to give people free phones if they just put down their social security number.
Yeah, dude. They do that in the front of the courthouse here in LA.
What a scam.
Don't give them your fucking social security.
Bro, you give a fucking social security number for a phone?
No.
He's going to use that to sell it to immigrants to get jobs.
Right.
He's going to open up probably fake cards.
I think those phones are legit in the way that
They work.
They work and everything, right? But you're still giving
away your
some
life.
hood-ass motherfucker. Because I'm sorry to all the guys out there selling phones, but these aren't fucking AT&T wireless representatives. These are guys who probably were home. God bless them for having a job. But I'm not giving you my fucking social security.
That dude came, I'm walking and I have a notepad. So this fool thinks I'm poor.
Yeah. You're on your way to court, bro.
I'm in Rochester, bro. I'm writing down my whatever, some ideas on my notepad.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, man, you need a phone? Huh? I can get you a phone right now, man. Just go around the corner, man, on that door, the door right there, man. I'll fill it. If you can't read or write, I'll fill it out for you. And he goes, bro, are you using me with a pen and paper? You think I'm drawing titties here? Yeah, man. So getting back to this week's episode of East Berlin and the ramifications of when the wall went down and a short story of what was really going down before the wall went down.
Right.
So I was there, man. My hotel room, I was right there. I was staying in East Berlin, and I saw most of East Berlin. I walked around, bro. I saw a lot of crazy shit. I think I was like not too far from Checkpoint Charlie.
Yeah.
And Cypress Hill's concert was in like the West Berlin side. In a castle where they kept the last Nazi prisoner there, the orchestrator of the final decision. So this is what I read briefly, bro. From that they have signs on the wall and they tell you what happened here.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things I read, that there was these, I don't know, they're like Middle Eastern people or from Kurdistan, but they're like Lebanese type of people that were living in East Berlin at the time. They started selling chips of the wall, bro. And they started right away grabbing pieces of the wall.
I saw
and they started slanging it to tourists.
There's a guy with a table with little baggies as people are partying behind him. And I saw that.
The wall went up in 1963? 61. At first, people from West Berlin, West Berlin only can go in and out of West Berlin.
Both could go back and forth.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just West Berlin.
No, so like, first of all, World War II ends, right?
And the Soviet Union takes over.
Here's what I didn't know. Is that, so I knew that the East was taken by the Russians, and then the West was taken by France, the United Kingdom,
London,
and America. And it was split in half.
But it was still Germany, right?
I thought that Berlin was on the border
too.
of West Berlin and East Berlin. It wasn't. It was fucking like 200 miles inland. So you had another city that was divided into 4 parts.
Yeah, where I was staying at, it's not where the border or the entrance or nothing is. It's just a piece of the wall that they left behind.
Right, but you were by Checkpoint Charlie, right?
Yeah, like no, it was like maybe like 5 miles away.
Yeah, so that's the death. That's what.
And I was over that bridge, some bridge.
Yes.
That was there now.
Ah, okay, because I'm just now familiar with it from everything that I've been reading and watching. You know, just so everybody knows, when me and Felipe take off to go do this, he takes off and goes and works. He has a whole life. I lock myself in my room throughout the day and study all this stuff. So Checkpoint Charlie was the centerpiece of this whole wall, right? You have the wall, and then I can't remember the name of the bridge that you were talking about, but that's Checkpoint Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have Checkpoint Alpha, another checkpoint, which is Bravo, Checkpoint Charlie, Checkpoint.
I sent you a video, bro, where I was. You can play it.
Okay.
That's Checkpoint Charlie.
So Checkpoint Charlie is the centerpiece. This is on, supposedly, if I can't recall, it's on Baron Strausser Boulevard or Baron Strausser Street. That's the monument that's still there. But what had happened is that so after World War II, we split up West Germany and East Germany. And then we also split up the capital, Berlin. And so you have West Berlin, where you have people that are living under the new freedoms that America had won and the UK had won. And then you have the East, which was taken by the Russians. What we're forgetting is that the Russians were fucking, I think we forget this all the time. The Russians were part of the coalition forces fighting the Germans, right? Well, the Russians were fucked over hardcore by the Germans. So the first few years of this takeover, this is one of the things that I've learned is that the Russians were raping every woman in German that they could, every German woman. So they went
after World War II, right?
Yes, they went and fucked everybody up. So nobody wanted to live in East Germany.
Also, man, they were like in France, any woman that was like sympathizer to a Nazi or had a baby from a Nazi or made out with a Nazi or fed a Nazi or let a Nazi stay in the house these are all like these women. They have no choice.
No choice.
These men, they just let it happen too.
This isn't.
They should cut their heads off. The men should go
There's
bald.
No Me Too movement at this time.
The men should be balding their heads too for not doing nothing and let it happen. So they were raping these chicks and beating them up.
Yeah, hardcore. 500,000.
We talked about this, bro. That how many rapes happened during World War II just on our side.
Just on our side. But on their side, the Russians, at the end of the war, because we were like, hey, you can do whatever you want.
They were not Stalin.
They were not. No, not at all. And so they had a party with the Germans before they settled them. And then when they settled them, they started to settle them under their communist regime started by Stalin. Or that was not started, but being run by Stalin.
I never thought about that till right now that when World War II was over, the Soviet Union took over every country that the Nazis ran over.
Yes.
Like Poland. You thought you were going to be free after World War II? Nah, you're not. They were going to punish you for letting them take the Jews.
Soviets did not give up control of Poland for I don't know, another 20 years.
But Poland was by itself living happily before World War II, huh?
Yeah, all these countries were. And
Czechoslovakia, too.
Czechoslovakia.
Siberia.
All those countries that were ended up, we call them Eastern Bloc. But under Soviet regime, they were all communists at this time. So now you got a place that's, you have Czechoslovakia, Poland, you have East Germany, I can't remember the other, Albania, all these countries that are now becoming communist.
How about Belgium?
I can't remember.
No, under France.
No, I think Belgium went to the western side. The thing is, though, is that these are people under new communist regimes. Also, this is Stalin-esque communism. This isn't Putin communism or
Gorbachev.
Yeah, Gorbachev communism, which we're going to talk about later. This is there are people who really want to live like this. There are people who are like, I I love living like this. But then there's also a large group of people that are like, fuck this, I don't want to live like this. But you got to remember, this whole country is leaving a communist regime. And so they're being split into two parts, and they're not doing it voluntarily. And so after the East government starts to set up a regime, I want to remind everybody, the Russians did not put the wall up. It was not the Russians. It was actually Walter Ulbricht, who was the chancellor of East Germany, and he was very adamant about keeping it communist. And what started to happen is that in the first 20 years, you had almost 2 million people flee East Germany. And this guy's like, I got to keep these fucking people in. How do I keep these people in? And it started out with like fences. And you used to have a pass. You could have a pass. I want to go see my family. My girlfriend lives here in West Germany. Can I go see her? Yeah, no problem. There was a guy in one of these stories that I read that had a house in West Germany and East Germany. And the West one was for his girlfriend. He went to go like be with her for a day.
My Fraulein.
And then when the wall went up, he got stuck on the west side. So the wall came up as a means of keeping the people in, because they didn't want, like, here's the thing with communism. It's an all of us thing, whether you like it or not, man. Like, if you're a communist, part of the problem is that if the people who don't want to take part in the project are hurting the project.
That'll be me, bro.
That would be me as well. But if I'm a communist, I'm like, you can't fucking leave, because I need you to work. I need you to make money here. And the thing is with communism at this time, and this is one of the things that I was watching when these people were being interviewed, because that's the thing, dude, is that these people are still alive to this day. That experience, a lot of these people that experience this part of history are still alive. And I was watching this one lady that was like, I didn't want to be westernized. I had a job, and when I didn't like my job, I would just write to my government and say, hey, I don't like my job. I want to try something else. And within a couple months, I would get a new job and a new training on something. But I always had money. Everybody had a place to live, and so like,
you know why they had a place to live? Some of these people had a place to live because the factories that they worked in they also have housing for these people.
Right.
So you're getting housing and you're getting fed, but your wages are small because in the end they add all that up.
Yes. Well, you don't get really wages because you get rations.
Yeah.
You get a check. You get this thing that says, here's how much points you have for the week. And then you go to the store with your points and you get your kid something, and you earn enough points, you could probably get a car. But everything,
bro, it takes 17 years to wait for a car in East Berlin.
It's crazy, bro. And again, I'm not advocating for communism. Kind of sounds like I am. I'm just speaking on behalf of these people who felt like, well, I had security. And then when we got taken over, I didn't have a job anymore. And my house became more expensive than I could afford it. And like, because there's a blowback to this. There's a blowback to...
Also, man... during communism in East Berlin, it was not just white-looking Germans, but there was a lot of immigrants living there. From Cuba there.
That's what's fun.
And from Pakistan
and from India,
and anywhere where there was
Kashmir.
Anywhere the Soviet Union was doing trades with, they were letting those immigrants come in.
Well, and what's fucked up is I watched this one. There's a movie called the Behind the Wall, and it's on.
You saw it?
Yeah, it's a really good documentary. Whenever we do something like this, I look up the best 2 books for the subject that I could read in a week, and then I look up the best documentary, and then I start from there, and then I look up like the highest numbered watched on YouTube like videos about it. So one I watched, this is one in particular. It's called Behind the Wall. And it does a very good job of showing both sides and what had happened afterwards, and how it was before and how it was during.
One thing I read, one of those signs was that as soon as the wall came down, everybody that was an activist in East Berlin that was against communism, who had political art and political statements, those people became like everything they ever did became like obsolete. Like,
well, yeah,
they were done. Like nobody cared about their activism anymore because it was done.
right.
And
Yeah,
nobody they can do they and also their art was very outdated compared to the modern art that was going on now.
right.
Because they were behind the wall. And some of those a lot of those factories that those people worked on in East Berlin, they couldn't like keep them open anymore because they were not like following air control and pollution.
Yes, the regulation,
clean water. Yeah. Like the East was just dumping toxic waste everywhere. Put it that way. They didn't care about smog.
No,
They were just like, they were just drilling. There was just like, there were no sanctions.
there's no work safety.
No work safety.
There's no like, hey man, are you wearing the right shoes? And in the West, because they're developing, and they're developing along with us as Americans. So you got to think like how one of the great things about America, the most amazing thing to me about America was how quickly we evolved in this country, how quickly we made things happen after World War II, especially.
Even though the South still trying to catch up
The
from
South
the
is
Confederacy.
because that's because some people are stupid in this country. I'm not going to say names, but so things are moving quickly, right? World War II money comes in. Production comes in, dude. We bring all the smart Germans from the Nazis over to like tell us about medicine, and that's the other thing, man. Is I think it was you who pointed this out when we were in Albuquerque having this conversation.
Yeah,
that like a lot of our medicine, like miracles that we have in medicine, the reason why Western medicine is so great is because the Germans that were experiencing
tested on humans already. Yeah.
we're testing it on humans. Like we absolved them of their guilt. We brought them over undercover. Like there's a whole documentary about this. And then we fucking got their ingenuity and we used it. But going back to West Berlin and West Germany, they're moving as fast as we are because they're us at this time. It's the same thing with Japan. It's why Japan is so like westernized, is because when we bomb a place and fuck it up, we go over and we hug it and we go, you know what, we're gonna love you though. We're gonna give you our version of what we have. So you have West Germany moving fast, and then you have East Germany sitting there not knowing how fast it's moving, hearing bits and because they couldn't listen to the radio, they couldn't listen to our TV programs, like they could get them. And if you got caught, like the Stasi, which is the police that like...
Oh, they have rats everywhere, bro.
Yeah, they have rats everywhere, bro. Like, that's the thing, is that the Stasi was the secret police of the East German government. And they were basically the Secret Service, the FBI, and the National Intelligence Agency all rolled into one group. And they watched you, and they had you embedded, bro. You could be driving a truck with someone, and you both are hauling cow shit, and the guy that's shoveling the shit is a Stasi member, and so like that's just to make sure that nobody fucked up and got away with anything.
Or talk shit.
Dude. You can't talk shit. You cannot. No dissent. There's no dissent in the government like this, and especially where they're at because they're poor.
There's no journalism over there. There's no reporters.
No.
And if you're asking if you're asking Stalin a question, it's more praise.
Right.
Like, Stalin, you're doing a great job. Great job. Then they ask him a question like, how's the weather today? Oh, that's a beautiful question. The weather is nice.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
But if you try to ask him, man, people are starving. So, Stalin, people are starving right now, man, and people are trying to get out of here. How dare you ask a dirty question like that?
Right.
How dare you ask a dirty question like familiar. That? You must work for a smaller government network, huh? Okay, man, we're gonna talk to you. I'm gonna give you a full interview at the end of the series. Shut down the cameras. I'm just saying that's how it was run.
That's how it was.
And I'm not describing anybody to anybody, but that's the way Stalin was.
Well, okay, and that's the thing I wanted to say. When you wonder, well, how did it get to this point? And that's how you get to this point. You get rid of your dissenters first. And how you get rid of your dissenters is you don't go, hey, all these guys, they're against me. Get them out of here. Pick them up and get them the fuck out of here, because then you look like a tyrant. But if you embed 2 or 3 guys that go, hey, Governor Felipe.
Yes, sir.
You did such a good job with the aqueduct system. We're all hoping that your new Feeding the People program is going to succeed just as great. And even if it doesn't, it's still going to feed everybody. But how well do you think it will be? And that's the way the question was, right? But if they go, so we heard that it didn't work, that system didn't work out. This one might not work out either. How do you feel about that? How dare you ask that question to me? See, you're against what we're trying to do here. You're against the productivity of us. Get out of here. I don't want that guy asking me any more questions.
Did you see that video, bro? Like, how Putin, like there was came into a business deal, bro, that was going to be being held done, and he showed up with just regular clothes, and as soon as that guy made that deal, he said, "Give me the pen," and he kept the pen, and then he left, and then he was telling, and then what was that about? It was because that guy had made a deal before that didn't work out with somebody else,
okay,
and then like but it didn't work out because Putin didn't make it work out.
Right.
But this time he let him know.
That was the symbol of like, this time it's going to work for you.
No, he's just letting you know that, motherfucker. You might sign for this business, but I'm keeping the pen, so.
Oh.
I own it. I control it.
I control everything. I mean, and that's the way that works, right? That's the way that society works. And we know that. But we look at these systems, you go back, and this is why I said at the beginning of the show, history repeats itself. It repeats itself. It repeats itself.
You guys ever seen that movie Baby Boy?
Yes.
Where Baby Boy and his homie are they just finished doing something crazy, and then fucking Ving Rhames comes in all fucked up. Oh, y'all doing this little slanging and shit.
Yes.
Poppy motherfuckers. Y'all watching this for the first time. But for me, all this shit is a rerun.
Right. That's the thing, man. Is like, again, I'm reading about this, and I'm watching, and again, we don't live in a time where it's exactly like that. I'm just pointing out that things aren't new when we go, these people are taking our jobs, or these people are doing this, or this is what's happening in our society right now. And it's like, it's not. It's actually a more toned down version of it, because you got these people. I wonder how it feels, man, to live like shit and look over on the other side. Like, you could see the other side living nice. And you could have been that had you been born over there, had your house been 100 more yards over. Like, I think about that all the time, and this is a really good example, because you had a group of people, a community of people that were living together as one. And then this war happens, and, Hitler, the Germans, whatever, but not every German person wanted that to happen. So, like, this city gets divided.
But think about it, man. People think that Hitler fucked up Germany, and then the World War II, and then he was gone. Nah, man, he fucked up Germany forever. Forever. That country was never the same after that.
Right. And he fucked up a few countries.
He separated 2 countries. Then they came back. And then after when the wall came down, and then the Soviets became just US, no longer USSR.
Right.
The little motherfuckers started fighting.
Right.
Czechoslovakia started fighting, Bosnia.
I mean, we're still. I still think, because we have the Palestinian Israeli thing happening. That is something that happened from World War II. This is like we're still experiencing World War II stuff. We're still experiencing Hitler's wrath.
There was a Jewish guy that was murdered, bro. An Israeli minister that was murdered in 1990-something on live TV. He had just gotten elected. And he was more of, I can't think of his name, but they made a movie about him and everything. I was reading about him. And he was a Jewish guy, He got killed by another Jewish person from a more conservative party of Israel.
Okay.
But this guy was more like left.
He was more left.
But he was
guy.
going to be the new guy, right?
Right.
And then the new guy, the one who became a replacement, he ended up losing to Netanyahu. But the guy who murdered that guy, he used to be under Netanyahu.
No way.
I read about this somewhere.
Bro, it's so, again, governments and stuff like that. And
I didn't even know that, bro, that
crazy,
guy was
dude.
murdered over there. It was sad. People were crying.
But yeah, so this guy, you have the German Chancellor Ulbricht who decides
inventor of bricks,
who decides to build a wall, and then you have people in the first 10 years of the wall being built trying to escape. Can you show a visual of like the current wall? Like it's gonna be, because there's a reason why the wall had a shape that it did, because people were running their cars through the wall, and the way that this wall was built with like an L shape, it has like an L shape, it's so that when they would hit it with their car, they wouldn't knock the. Yeah, okay, you can kind of see it in that one right there. Dude, again, look at this wall. Do you remember we were looking at the walls at the border last week?
Yeah.
And you were like, I want that one. And we were talking about the one with the tube so the alligator could go through. See the one on the far left, top left up there?
Yeah.
That one. Okay. So how those walls fell and they were L-shaped, right?
Yeah.
It was so that you couldn't drive a car through it anymore. That was the new wall, but at first they were laying bricks over barbed wire and like shit like that, and then that wasn't working. People were poking holes through the wall, and then the more that people tried to escape, the more that it became more strict, and that's why they have it's called the death strip, bro. That's what they call it, the in between. So you have the wall on one side, and then you have the actual border for East to West Germany is about maybe 30 yards in past the wall that starts in East Germany. And you have what's called the death strip in the middle. And the death strip consisted of sand, first of all, because the sand is the most kind of eeriest part, is because they couldn't trust the soldiers in the watchtowers to shoot the people passing through sometimes, because they were like, oh, that could be my fucking neighbor. It could be my friend. You got to remember, these people lived together before all of this happened. And so if I was your commander and I came in and I saw footprints down there and I go, what happened to that guy? Then now you're in trouble. So that's what the sand was for, was to make sure that they got shot. Each side and this is another eerie thing, is that all the apparatuses. So the reason for the regimes putting up the wall was to keep fascists out. We want to keep fascists out of East Germany. But when you look at the wall, all the apparatuses to hurt people were facing the East German side. They have these things called SM-70s that they had to end up taking down. And the SM-70 was this huge, it looked like the end of a scatter gun sticking out of the ground. And it had darts, it had steel blocks in it, and it had a pneumatic pressure valve in it, like air. So if you stepped on a plate, this thing would just fire like cubes like that, big metal at you, and it would obliterate you. And the Germans forever, the East Germans were like, we don't have that. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not a real thing. And then there was this one guy, Schreiber, that jumped the fence, got one,
Schreiber.
And then gave it to the government, and then they ended up taking it down, but it was considered inhumane. But they had all these apparatuses, and then if you hopped over the fence, let's say you made it over the first fence, they had a spike strip along the floor, like a bed of nails, so that if you stepped on it, you fuck your feet up. And if you made it past that, you had these huge pieces of barbed wire blocks that were called tank stoppers. You had to get over that. Then if you got over that, you had to get past the dogs. And then you had the guys in the middle with guns. And then, so it was like impossible at some point to get over the wall. And that was just the wall inside of East Germany. There's also the blue wall, which was the
Caspian Sea, Rasta.
But yeah, so you had that barrier as well, and then people would try to swim across that, and then there's like a story of this lady who made it all the way across to the west side, but the East Germans came and got her on a boat and picked her up right before she made it to the west side, and then brought her back. You have stories of guys that had tried to make it over that were shot. There's one story about this one guy who makes it over and he gets shot as he's going over the first fence, and he's on the death strip and he's bleeding out and he's begging for help. And you can hear him in the building next. Like, you're in West Germany, you're in your apartment, you're sipping your coffee, you're enjoying your fucking French bread from France, and you hear this guy yelling for help, like, for hours. Hours, bro. And they didn't come get him for like maybe 8 hours. They didn't come in and get him until he was already dead by the time they got him, but they just let him bleed out. And that shit happened all the fucking time. The one story that I love the most was these two guys got out. These two guys ziplined out. They called up their friend. They said, we're going to meet at this one place. They shot an arrow from one building to another with a metal cord, and then they tightened it and they ziplined from the top of one building down to another building in West Germany, and they totally got away with it. And they needed to go get their brother, so they taught themselves how to fly those little ultralight planes with the little engines on them, and they just went over and over. They crashed it a couple times. They finally got it down, and they left one park, flew over into East Germany, landed in another park, rescued their brother, took off, and flew back. It's all filmed. This is all filmed on a VHS camcorder. And 4 months, I think it was four to 6 months later, the wall fell. But yeah, you have all those stories of people trying to escape. I think it was, let me give you guys some facts here on how many people died. 140 people died trying to attempt to get over the wall in the 28 years that it was up. Here's some real quick facts about the wall. The wall was constructed August 13 in 1961, dismantled starting November 9th, 1989. Stretched approximately 155 kilometers, 96 miles from West Berlin. It featured 302 watchtowers, 20 bunkers, and had at least 100 dogs patrolling. The amount of people they estimated did get over was around 5,000 people.
Tear down that wall. Bro.
Right. Well, that's the other thing is, like, so that speech by Reagan that I learned was not popular at the time. Like, they didn't think that was, we look back at it now because that's what caused Gorbachev to back off and would help bring down that wall. But at the time, there was a protest the day before that had twice as many people protesting Ronald Reagan. And then the next day that he makes that speech, it doesn't get a huge ovation because at this time, they don't think the wall's coming down. Nobody thinks the wall is coming down. Gorbachev, though, is the new president of Russia. And Gorbachev he's kind of like, look, man, I love communism, but it has to change. We can't force people to stay communists. We can't, we need to have reforms, which is what he comes up with this term, perestroika. I don't know if you've ever heard of perestroika and glasnost. And those are Gorbachev's two programs for changing communism throughout the Eastern Bloc. And East Germany goes, you know what? That's cool, fucking Mr. Gorbachev. Gorbachev even has a radio show at night to help improve, so he could talk to other people in communism, like actual citizens, and he listens to their grievances, and he talks about how we could change this, and so he wants to change. And then the new chancellor who ousts Ulbricht, he comes in and he's kind of taken over and he's the new guy and he's like, fuck no, we're not fucking changing. I don't give a fuck what you say. Well, then that's when like Gorbachev is like, well, then that's cool and you could be how you want to be. And that's my whole thing is be how you want to be. Run your country the way you want. But if you're not doing what we're doing, I'm not going to help you. And so that's like kind of the first thing that happens. Now you have like a few protests that happen. But the other thing is like Czechoslovakia, Albania, all these other countries start to go along with Gorbachev's programs. And they open up their borders to each other so they could start like having vacations. And then they open up their borders to their neighboring countries like Poland and stuff like that. So what East Germans are starting to do is they're like, hey, we're going to go on vacation in Czechoslovakia. And then there's this one situation in 1987, 86, in October, they all like all of a sudden all these East Germans show up for a so-called vacation and they're lined up at the Czechoslovakian border, but there's 2 guards. And so they fucking just bum rush the gate and the guards just let them go. And then all these people leave. And then now you have people showing up on West German embassy campuses waiting to get to be made citizens of West Germany, which West German at the time offered like that to them. But you have all that happening. I'm just trying to get through this really quick because I know that this is the boring part. But what ends up happening is that East Germany says we need reform, and what we're going to do in order to keep our people, because now they're trying to escape, is we're going to let you now pass the border. All East German people are going to be able to cross the border. They're going to be able to like go freely. You just have to get a passport, and they call it the travel law. They call it the new travel law.
And they were just noting down everything, huh?
Yeah.
They were keeping track of everything. They want to know where your cousin lives.
Right, and that's what it was going to be. Was like,
that was the beginning of keeping track of everybody.
So you're going to be able to travel. Any East German is going to be able to travel. We're not going to say no anymore. But we're going to keep an eye on you. And you got to like, we're going to have Stasi with you and stuff like that. So they give it to this one guy.
Stasi's.
Here it is. So Leipzig protest. That was in October of 89. That's what I was talking about. But they give it to this one guy, right? This one guy's not in this meeting the whole fucking time. And he comes out and they give him the packet and they say, go to the press and let them know this is what we're talking about. So he goes to the press and he goes, all right, so we're going to start letting East German people leave the country. And, you know, and he's going through his paperwork. And when someone goes, when is this going to happen? This isn't supposed to happen for 2 weeks. He looks down at his paperwork. He goes, immediately. And then within hours, people start showing up at the border. Now, again, at Checkpoint Charlie. At Checkpoint Charlie, you have 3 officers guarding the gate.
Yeah.
Because their bosses are still in a meeting trying to figure out the laws of how people are going to pass. But people are standing now at the gate going, hey, we just heard on the radio that we could go ahead and pass however we want. And it gets so built up, and this guy's trying to call his bosses.
Hey, come on in now.
Hey, they're all here. There's fucking, and at this point, there's 20,000 people. There's 30,000. It gets bigger and bigger. And the guy goes, there's nothing I could do. There's nothing I could do. Bro, it comes down to this one captain.
They have guns?
They have guns. 3 guns versus, and that's the thing is, so this is what one of the chancellors of East Berlin says, like, thank God that this guard just gave in and let the people go by, because if he started shooting these people, we'd have a World War. It would have turned into World War III from that point on. And it was literally the one guard that was like, I can't get a hold of my bosses, so you know what? Everybody leave. Everybody could go. And then it just opened up, and then because of the influx, within 5 minutes, 20,000 people crossed through Checkpoint Charlie. And And that started the flood of people coming into West Germany. And at that point, the East could not contain itself anymore. And then
sledgehammering it, huh?
Boom, done, gone. No more wall, no more East Germany. Like it wasn't
Just
even
like that, huh?
It wasn't even supposed to be like that. But because of that one small decision, you now no longer have a country. That's how quickly it could go. That's what's crazy, bro. Is like that's how quickly your system. Your democracy system, your communist system, your Marxist system, your socialist system, all of it could be gone in a heartbeat. Like they wanted to maintain control of East Germany. East Germany still would have been a country had that guy not had fucking Chabowski. That was his name. Chabowski's the guy that made the mistake in the press conference. And if he had not made that mistake, there still wouldn't have been in East Germany. There would have been, and
he works at AMC Berlin now, bro. So letting people in the movie theater.
That guy fled because I didn't know this. Did you know this? They ended up charging all the Stasi members. They held tribunals for everybody. And they ended up charging most of the officers that shot people, but they gave most of them pardons. But a lot of like the Stasi leaders, the chancellor got away and left to France, but a lot of the heads of the state and stuff ended up having to do like a year in prison for the atrocities that they committed. But that's crazy to me, dude. It's like it was the government that we authorized, and now we're gonna hang you guys for doing what you did, But yeah, it was.
What happened to all the those people that were working in government office as Soviets,
That's the other thing, man, is there's a lot of drinking.
Those guys went back to, where did they go?
They didn't go anywhere. They stayed. And they
got
didn't have
regular jobs
because they didn't have fucking...
At least they have coats.
Bro, that's the thing, though, is that what is sad, bro, is
and their army.
You had guys that were dead. Like, I watched this one guy, and I do feel bad. I kind of was like, oh, he didn't get to oppress people anymore. But he was like, I was committed to my government. I was committed to my cause. And then all of a sudden, in one day, I don't have a job and I don't have a viable skill. And then I'm also living in a capitalist society where the more money you have, the better off you are. And I don't have anything. And like, he was like, I started drinking because I didn't know what to do, but I'm not a drinker. So I stopped drinking. But it's sad because you have all these people because most of the jobs were in government. They were state-owned jobs. So you have all these, and again, you have factory workers that aren't as skilled as the other factory workers back in the West.
And then like a lot of those people that were working in those factories, there were nobody would hire them in a capitalist society.
Well, bro,
they were too old.
You're in East Germany making shoes with a stamp and fucking a hammer. While West Germany's shoe shops now have a fully automated system. Your job isn't needed anymore. And in fact, the house you live in, guess what? The price is going up in it as well because it's no longer East Germany. It's just Germany now.
But I used to work at the border. Yeah, there's a McDonald's there now. You can work there.
Yeah, you could if you're lucky.
That was the first thing that went up with a McDonald's.
That's insane, dude. Did you get to see the walls and stuff? Did you go along the Death Strip? Did you get to see the watchtowers and stuff? Or
I saw some of them. I went to this place, this market in Germany where, look.
I don't tell you guys what I'm looking at. Oh, yeah, that is the wall. Nick das. What does that say? Do you know what that means? Wow.
He who wants the world to remain as it is, doesn't want the world to remain at all.
At all. Is that the video you sent to?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we could just edit that in. That's interesting. That is because that was what communism was, right? It was like, let's keep these people.
Yeah, that was the art that went up on that wall afterwards. Oh, I can't do that joke no more.
I didn't mean to laugh at that. We just got news that Ozzy Osbourne died. So.
And he's German, so.
Is he German?
Osbourne, yeah.
Oh, that is a German name, huh?
He's Irish.
He's Irish. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Osborne. You know, it's illegal over there to do the Hitler salute
Right.
in Germany.
Nazism
And to
is
do
illegal.
anything. Also, you know what's illegal over there too? Because they don't want no group like that ever to take that religion is outlawed in Germany. The one that Tom Cruise is in.
Scientology.
Done.
Really?
You can't bring Scientology into
It's
Germany.
illegal.
Because it's too much of a cult, and they don't want like influence like that ever again.
Absolutely. Yeah, because it fucks shit up.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the German people? What was your take on Germany, man?
German people are not like American people because they speak 2 languages. They speak automatically English and German.
They do speak English a lot out there.
And speak Spanish too. Some of them.
Were you well received there? Were they really happy to see you and meet you, or were they rude?
Bro, I went to do an open mic. I
Okay.
went to a comedy show there in a boat,
You did the one in the boat.
and I went up last, bro. Murder, bro.
Nice.
Murder. They want me to come back and do more shows. And marijuana illegal there, like legal.
It's super legal, right?
Super legal. Like you could smoke anywhere, but there are no coffee shops yet.
Interesting. But there's dispensaries.
I didn't see any.
Where do you buy weed then?
I don't know.
So it's kind of underground type deal.
Oh, if you have a medical license, you can get it right away.
Right. Isn't it weird though, man, that this country was at one point like they were the annihilators of our society.
Also, Germans, the Nazis, when they started like separating the Jewish people and living them were separating them, they learned that from us. How the way we treated black people, I read.
Yes. Yeah.
The way they separated black people, put them in the hood,
right?
But they call them ghettos.
That's why we get that's where we got the term from. Ghetto was from them.
Because they started marginalizing these Jewish people, but they learned that from us, the way we marginalized Native Americans and blacks. That the Germans learned that from us.
Wow.
And then they put it into the final solution.
Well, it's in their propaganda.
Yeah.
Like because they're like the way in their propaganda. I saw a poster that said the way the United States got rid of the jazz artist, or like the way that we marginalized the jazz artists.
Yeah.
This is what we need. And it showed a picture of a black dude with big lips playing a horn.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is what we need to do to the Jews. And then it showed like the glasses and the big nose. And I didn't really understand that relation until right now. I thought what the sign was saying was like, this is their plague, this is our plague. But it was basically saying what you just fucking said. Yeah. That is fucking wild, bro. That is, I still love America, though, I swear to God. It's just the thing is, you got to hold yourself accountable. You can't sit here and be like, I love my kids.
Yeah, Germany holds himself accountable for their atrocities. And so does Holland. Like when they stay on a tour, this country was made also by the spice trade, also by we were the earlier
slaves and shit. Yeah.
We were the earlier countries to enslave people with the Spaniards.
But they don't not talk about it. They're not,
they talk about it. They do it in their
We don't talk about that,
tour.
Felipe. We don't want to talk about that. We hit Anne Frank. We're good. We got weed. We're good. Like, no, dude. They talk about it.
They talk about it.
They don't outlaw it. Weird. That's weird.
Like when I was on a boat ride, you know why the Dutch became so rich? I said, because of slavery, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And we do not hide from that here in this country.
You don't hide from your own education of what you did. Again, I love this fucking country, but you can't, like, it's like raising your kid. You know who shitty kids come from? People who are like, my baby never makes a mistake. My baby's never done nothing wrong. That's the shitty people in this world. But the people who are like, you know what? My mom used to be like, I love Butch, but he's a fucking idiot sometimes. I love my son, but I know what he's capable of doing. And that's kind of how I feel, bro. It's like, I love this fucking country.
It's like Joe Diaz's grandmother, bro. She had a picture of Jesus Christ in her living room and John F. Kennedy, bro. And every day she'll pass by Jesus, go like this, and then look at Kennedy, go, fuck you, Kennedy.
No way,
That's
bro.
right, cocksucker.
That's right, cocksucker. I know I need to do that. I'm gonna,
Not about the hee-hees and the ha-has. You fucking Mexicans, you got it easy. You just fucking cross the border illegally. I'm fucking Cuban. Me and my uncle, we got caught in a tuna net. But
I got caught in a tuna net.
you know, one of the things that I read,
Joey in a tuna net.
one of the things that I read about this German guy going from living in with a communist party, the socialist party, you know, and it's funny how people who don't know, like when they talk about the socialist party, the communist party, people say like the hardcore ones, they say, oh, these people want free shit, but they never lived in a country like that. When you realize that when you're actually living in it, you realize it ain't free.
No,
nothing's free. Dude. That's where you get it all wrong. Because you live in a socialist country, nothing is free. If you want to be a homeless man, fuck no, man. You can't. You're gonna work 3 hours at least,
bro. You cannot
be a homeless man.
You cannot not work. That's the other thing. Is like, look, dude. In a real communist country,
there ain't no homeless.
There's no homeless. And if you want, because like that lady was like, if I didn't like my job, I could get another one. That's great. That was probably in that small environment that she was in. But in real life, if you're living in communist Russia, communist China right now, and you want to fucking quit your job because Stasi is making your life fucking miserable today, fuck no, you can't quit your job. Fuck no, you don't get a raise.
No, you're the problem, maybe.
You're the problem. Get back to fucking work, fucking Brenda. Stop bitching about Stasi.
You know what's crazy about the Stasi and these people, like because I know that Russia has the KGB, right, obviously, but the German Stasi is like they could look at a paper, read you a paper. I was watching this episode of Fargo, season 3, and it was like there's like a German guy questioning a guy, right? And they're just showing us that the whole season is going to be a mistaken identity season. Right. So they got this guy right there. This guy goes, your name is, just say your name is Alex Dearden, and you were born in June 7, 1948, and you have a wife. Then the guy goes, I don't have a wife. And I was not born in 48. That would make me 70 years old. I'm 40.
Right.
So you're saying I'm wrong? The party is wrong?
Yeah.
Bro, and they just drill him. Right. So he finally says, all right, motherfuckers, I'm that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're trying to get him for murdering his wife years ago, but this fool said I've never had a wife.
Right.
But what happened was that he lives in the house now where I guess this motherfucker used to live, but they never changed the paperwork. But you're going to tell that to a guy, a Stasi guy, that?
No, there's no due process.
There's no due process.
There's no, investigation. It doesn't matter what the fuck you tell the judge. Yeah.
That guy, bro, this is how fucked up it was. That Stasi guy.
Right.
He ate his lunch in his desk, wrapped up the paper, cleaned his mouth, put everything away under his desk, and then went back to work.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
He didn't leave his office to go to fucking McDonald's, chit-chat with other officers.
No.
He just stood there.
He did it, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that dude is stuck there in that office all day long.
Right.
Dealing with bullshit like this.
Well, and that's why to them it's no big deal just to shove it along, dude.
And then I'm pretty sure it is how fucked up that world is, that world he's living in, that socialist party, that his senior officers probably gave him a bullshit paper just to see how he will react. Would he stick to the paperwork?
See if he'd do anything or not?
Would you stick to the paperwork, or would you listen to the asshole story?
Right.
Or would you keep moving along? And then once
you
realize,
toe the line or not?
And once that guy goes, no, it's you, motherfucker. My superiors are not wrong. How could they be wrong? What a fucked up way to live, huh?
Bro,
with no due process.
Here's another thing. Let's say you want to. So the Stasi would go, like the government would go, hey, everybody could leave if you want. You just got to apply to leave, and you got to give us a good reason. Well, sure, you go to apply to leave. You got kids that are in school. You want to move to West Germany. Felipe fills out a report. Guess what happens? It lands on my desk. I call Felipe's boss. Hey, I'm just trying to figure out why Felipe wants to leave our country. Can you figure that out? I call his school, his kid's school. Hey, could you tell me why? Are you treating the kids bad because they want to leave the country? And what he's really saying is fuck with this traitor now. So you go to work now, your boss knows you don't want to live in this country anymore. You're a fucking traitor. Your kids are a traitor. Your wife's a traitor, bro. Your block finds out at some point you're a traitor. So and then now you're being watched by the Stasi. And then now the Stasi is just waiting for any little information to just put against you to lock you and your family up. That's how these people are. Living.
According to Tony Montana and Scarface, they were living at that in Cuba already.
Right.
He goes, you got a fucking Huicho watching every corner. Somebody's watching you.
Yeah.
That's what Cuba was back then.
And that's the thing, man. Again, it's like fucking Castro was just trying to free people, bro. But then all of a sudden, what happened?
Hey,
Communism doesn't work.
He did something that the German would have probably did undercover without telling us. They probably let a lot of criminal East Berliners out at one day, bro, without telling us into Germany.
Well, they used to sell them to the West. That was another thing that
I'll take two for $1.
So
I'll take two for 2 francs.
So they did not make a lot of money. The East Germans didn't have a lot of money, and one of the ways that they made money was they would sell prisoners. And the only time the way the West would buy you is if you had made an escape attempt or had several escape attempts or were a radicalized Easterner. And the going rate for a prisoner was about $100,000 to $150,000, and the government would split it with your family. So let's say Shelly gets picked up by the Stasi and she's in prison, and we got to get Shelly out of prison. So the East German government would go to the church and say, tell them you could get her out for $150,000. And then they'd go to us and go, we can get Shelly out for $150,000. And then the family has to come up with half the money, and the government has to come up with half the money. And then they go back and they buy them. And they would buy them all the time. They had a bus. They had a train that specifically went from one prison to a release center in the West. And it was a 7-minute long ride, and the train would pull in, and they would load it up with all the Eastern people they didn't want. They'd give them certificates of release of citizenship, and it would say, "You're a traitor. Don't fucking come back." They'd hand it to them, and then they'd get on the train, and then and they would lock. So on one side of the train, they had a door, and they had a lock for it. And then on the other side, there was a locked door that the Western had a key to.
Damn.
And so it would just go across, and then the Westerners would open up and let them out and be like, welcome here. And then they had, and that was the thing is you left East Germany, they gave you a place to live if you didn't have one, which most people did. They'd find you a job, and then they gave you an allowance.
Damn, full bar.
Yes. Well, and the other thing is if you just went to visit, like let's say you just went to visit for the day, there was $100 waiting at the Deutschmarks waiting for you at the German bank because they didn't fuck with Eastern money at all. So you couldn't just come over with your Eastern bucks and give them over to exchange. But in order to entice Easterners to stay, you could go to the bank and get $100 every day.
Bro, did you hear about the 15 Polish men that were assaulting a German woman? She kept saying 9, 9, 9, and 6 left. 9 means no in German.
I know what that means. Dude, sometimes I'm really listening, dude. Sometimes I'm really like, oh, fuck, what happened? What's funny in my mind? I was hoping we'd end this podcast on a lighter note. This dude's talking about this chick getting raped by all these
I didn't say rape. I said assaulted.
Assaulted. My bad.
And she was saying 9, 9. And there was 15 Polish guys and 6 left.
Oh, my God. That's fucking hilarious, dude. Nice.
Yeah, man, Hitler fucked up Germany forever, and fucked up that style of mustache forever too, bro.
Forever, bro.
Remember Michael Jordan tried to wear that shit, and people were saying, Norm Macdonald said, "No, that's Hitler." were stupid to get that mustache, huh?
Dumb at this point, bro. Dumb. There's a guy that walks. That's a comic. I don't know his name, but I see him
in Texas.
No, here I see him pop up at the Comedy Store every now and then, like waiting at the open mic, and he's got a little Hitler mustache, and I kind of want to walk over and be like, "Are you trying to start something here or what, bro?"
Look at the see right there, bro. Look at him.
No.
That's when he was trying to sell the air Holocaust.
I just think it's a stupid mustache too. Like fuck. Like
he was trying to sell the air Auschwitz. Back
like
then.
if Hitler had like a pointy cowboy mustache,
it'll be done, bro.
I don't think it would have been. I just think it just was a stupid mustache.
It's bad, huh?
Yeah, it was a bad style choice on a bad person.
He wanted to look like an exclamation point.
I wonder what the real like reason behind his stupid mustache was.
Did you know that he was on cocaine and methamphetamine?
Yes.
Throughout the parades, Hitler, because
there's a video where you see him.
He needed his hand to stand like that for the whole parade, bro. Like in an attention.
No way.
Yeah, so we should read that book one day and talk about it. It was called Blitz something. What?
Blitzkrieg?
Yeah, that one, Blitzkrieg, and it's they talk about how they trained the Germans little by the Nazi Germans little by little with they all had a little case of pills,
right,
full of meth. So they took one the first night. Cause I always wonder, man, how come the Nazis every time they get drawn, they look like zombies with their eyes this big? When they came in to England, bro, to Russia, when they attacked the Great Britain, they were all on meth and they attacked for 3 days straight without sleep, bro.
Right. Yeah, they.
And then as soon as they were fucking those guys will rest, they'll send the next motherfuckers, bro, with 5 days straight with no sleep. So pretty much a bunch of meth heads coming to attack you with guns.
I can't remember, and I'll look it up, and someone will probably tell me in the comments. I can't remember who gave who meth, but it was either the Japanese gave them meth or they gave the Japanese meth. But that's also the kamikaze.
The kamikaze probably
were fucking meth. Because they had to fly for like a day straight to get to where they were going.
Their pills they were made to look like capsules, almost like rice.
Rah! Get the fuck out.
And the Germans were like little beaner schnitzels. To fool them, bro. You think they should, like, you remember how those people have the poison pills? They just take it so you will die?
The cyanide. That actually happened lately, within the last half decade, I think, or decade, where that guy, they brought him into court. I think it was a German guy, too. They brought him into a world court, and he was there waiting his confession, and you see him, and he's holding his hands together, and all of a sudden he goes like this. And then they try to get it out of his mouth, and then he just ends up dying right there.
Bro, I saw. Hey, look up a video, bro. It's called "Argentinian Woman Singing in German," and play it for us.
Argentinian woman.
This is an Argentinian woman, bro, in an old folks' home, and her whole life they thought she was Argentinian, and then she started singing, and then she probably was a Nazi criminal, dude. But her and her husband are singing the song verbatim, bro. Like, she'll sing that one, bro.
She sings this one.
And she was like, and they were like, what?
And then but they thought she was German, but they realized.
No, she was German hiding in Argentina.
Oh. So was she like a Nazi sympathizer or something that was hiding?
She was a Nazi.
She was a Nazi.
But then later on, my algorithm started showing up more Argentinians. He went to go visit my mother, my great grandmother in Argentina, right? And then her fucking towel was all white, but in the middle there was a swastika.
Oh man.
And she had it was a joke.
Right. Oh, it was someone else did that to her.
Yeah, the joke. History for fools, man. You heard it here, my friend, my Fraulein, my
Fraulein. Oh, that means lady, right? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Later on, man, we'll talk about the influence of Nazi soldiers in Star Wars.
Yes.
Like the stormtroopers.
Right. Yeah. I watched an interview with, and I'll send you the video, with George Lucas. And there's that one scene in I can't remember, it's the Clone Wars maybe, or it's another one where they're cheering and she goes, "This is how liberty dies," and cheers, right? It's when he says we're gonna he asked him about that and he goes, yeah, and he talks about how like it's weird how you write about you have the dark side, which is this aligned group of people that have technology, that have everything, and they're fighting a group of rebels that have only asymmetric warfare. And he's like, wouldn't you call those people terrorists these days? And George Lucas fires back right away. He goes, well, in my day, they were the Viet Cong. And then before that, they were frontiersmen.
Yeah.
That were rebels. You know, and that's what he's like. That's the conveyance. And so I'm really interested in how that, because I always noticed that too. I think we all noticed that as kids, is that these guys are dressed like Nazis.
And you know that
they have the boots, the
Emperor,
rider's pants.
And the Emperor's main objective in Star Wars is just to control all trade.
Really? No shit.
Yeah, the imperialists.
Like tariffs and stuff.
Yeah, control everything.
Interesting.
And then that's why you got Han Solo, who's one of those people that bring in illegal shit.
Right.
He's a fucking.
Han Solo is a smuggler.
A smuggler.
He's a smuggler.
The smuggler.
But he's smuggling goods and stuff right
yeah,
now, right?
And people. Because then when he grabs the fucking Luke Skywalker, you know, and who are the Jungin in that movie?
Have you ever watched Dune?
These are not the Jews you're looking for.
Well, that's the other thing is, what's that one guy, Otto? The guy that flies around in the Phantom Menace?
You might as well just call her Boba Fett the Jew hunter. Bro.
That's what I'm talking about, dog. That's what I'm talking about. It's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy how we look. It's just science fiction. It's just science. Have you ever seen Dune? Dune.
Bro, I don't watch anything that tries to be Star Wars, bro.
I don't think it's trying to be Star Wars.
Galactica, nope.
Okay, that is, yes, I will give you that.
I don't watch Dune because this is so long, these movies.
Right, okay. It's a really good movie, though. I don't know. Again, it is long. Even my nerdy-ass stepsons were like, yeah, it's too fucking boring. But I found it to be...
Like Star Trek, they keep it tight, 80 minutes.
But I heard, and I do believe that it emulates the Dutch Spice Wars. That's what it's about. Because even in the movie Dune, they're talking about raiding the earth for spice, and the people... And again, here's a situation... It's like kind of like... You're right, it is like Star Wars. Because the people in Dune... You saw Dune. Did you see Dune? So the people in Dune, the rebels are brown people, and they have their own language, but it sounds a lot like Middle Eastern.
So those guys started like in Star Wars after a while starting Asian, huh?
The chancellors are Asian dudes.
We're doomed.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, those are, and then
I always thought they were like, are these trying to be China here?
Yes, dude.
And then like the emperor right here.
Yeah, when you see the whole
Emperor Putin here.
When you see the council scene and they're all representatives. Those are Mexicans. Like, dude,
like the kid that was like in control of Luke Skywalker, man. He's son like little young Darth Vader,
right?
In the first one,
yes.
He's son Armenian, huh? What do you mean?
No, you're talking about the guy that sells. That's what I was talking about. Otto. What's the guy's name? Otto something.
Yeah.
And like me and my girlfriend have this like battle because she's like, I think he's supposed to be Jewish, and I'm like, I think he's supposed to be Albanian. Like he's
so they try to do the tricks on him. Hey, that don't work on me. It's $5. Nah, that doesn't work for me.
Dude, it's a weird. He's got the 5 o'clock shadow and that huge nose.
I know. Look at Ari Shafir and shit. But that was funny how all his shit did not work on this motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
$20.
Yeah.
And he goes, $5. You think that's gonna work on me?
The guy who runs the liquor store by my house.
You know the guys who sold me a fucked up belt.
Fuck, bro.
So when I used to go to Dodger Stadium, bro, there was an ugly motherfucker that looked like that. He looked like Palestinian Mexican fool.
Right.
I don't know where he was from.
Right.
But he used to, bro, go to every area selling belts because he knew every day somebody was gonna be a new stand worker. So he knew that once they get that basket, they're gonna need that strap,
right,
to put it on to hold it.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna hold it with your hands. So that fool just go into Dodger Stadium, man. If y'all need straps for your stuff to carry, I got them.
No shit. Dude, that's smart.
Dirty ass fool.
That's smart as fuck though, bro.
Yeah, dog. That's how he thought. So basically, he'll make like guitar, like a long strap with a hook. Probably cost him $2, $1 to make. He'll sell it to us for $5.
Fuck yeah, why not, bro? You would buy it on the way in, right?
I bought one.
Yeah, of course, dude. My God, geniuses, dude.
And I told him, how about just $3, bro?
And he looked like he's all, your tricks won't work on me.
He looked like my tow truck driver, bro. My friend, your back is fucked up. Like some Albanian motherfucker.
Yeah, bro. That's the thing is here in LA, dude. That's because we in the Bay Area pride ourselves on our internationality stuff. Nah, dude. LA.
Yeah, you live in a big city.
Yeah.
You're gonna see it right away. But if you don't,
right?
Like if you're from you're from
Morgan Hill,
Michigan somewhere, bro.
Right.
Somewhere in the South. You're not used to hearing all these accents.
No.
So to you, it's just a regular movie. And
I
shit.
wasn't either, though. I'll be honest with you, bro. When I moved here, I was like, there's races of people I didn't even know fucking existed, dude. I was like,
when I saw Jar Jar Binks, I thought he walked into a 3-on-3 game, bro.
He was Jamaican. Right away, I'm all, that's a Jamaican guy. That's a fucking Jamaican guy.
When I saw him, I said, bro, that's some scandalous chick from Miami. From Himalaya, whatever they're called.
From the Himalayas?
Jabalina, I don't know what they call that place in Miami.
From Havana, from Little Havana. Oh my God,
Havalana, I don't know what they call it.
Oh yeah, yeah. They have a weird name for it, right?
Yeah, like bro, like when I watch Star Wars, I say, where are all the Mexicans at? Then I see them. Oh, we're the Tuscan Raiders.
We're the Tuscan Raiders. Yeah.
And we're the little Jawa motherfucker that can fix everything.
Yes, those are Guatemalans. But
no, they're from Oaxaca, bro.
Or Oaxacans. That's what I meant. They're Oaxacans.
Peruvians.
But the
Incas.
Ewoks, Filipinos. Dude, listen to how they talk. They're short and they fucking super asymmetric. They have like little slingshots that they fucking, dude, they're Filipinos, dude. I've been around Filipinos a lot and they're tiny. And
I want the food under the water.
Those are the Jar Jar Binks guys, right?
Yeah.
Those guys are
Jamaicans.
I think they're supposed to be Jamaicans. Yeah. We should do a whole
It's funny
Star
how,
Wars
like,
who we think is what race.
Yeah, man.
That would be good for us. That would be good for the podcast. I think we should. Because I thought the Mexicans were the Chewbaccans. Dude, the joke makes way more better sense. But I really did think, like, because they have the bandoleros. The Wookiees had the bandoleros.
They're all mechanics.
Yeah. Yes, they're all mechanics, dude. That's what I'm saying. George Lucas knew.
He grew up in Modesto, by the way.
He is from Modesto. So it kind of, which is an international small town in a way. Dude, it really is. If you ever go to Modesto, it's like.
Shout out to Yosemite Lanes. History for fools, man. So if Star Wars was East or West, who was East Berliner and West Berliner in Star Wars?
Easy, that's fucking easy, bro. The fucking dark side is East Berlin, and then the west side is the rebels. But now the rebels have a lot more technology these days, so we should make a new Star Wars. We should make it super racist. You know what? The next Star Wars is going to be about fucking Mexicans and
also, it could be very, very stereotypical, man. That fucking that fucking Samuel Jackson lightsaber the same color as the Crown Royal bag, bro.
Is that true? Get the fuck out of here.
Everybody has light blue.
Samuel L. Jackson with his lightsaber. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here. George Lucas, call me tomorrow, bro. Otherwise, we're doing...
Look, dog.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Shout out to fucking Prince.
And it's in a gold. Look at it's in a gold. Look at the gold handle for it, too.
Yeah, look at his jacket, bro. It's that little string from the Crown Royal. You know, just...
He had a purple robe.
But it was just...
With gold lining. Like he came out with gold chains.
Bro, he came out of a Crown Royal bottle, bro. He's a genie.
Oh my God, bro!
How did he die? They kicked that fool out of. They took him out of. He fell out of a window, like a regular fool getting thrown out of a club through a window, bro.
They did. They did him like that too. they threw him out of the club.
What happened, bro? He probably somewhere as a little ghost. So what happened, man? What happened to Anakin? Oh man, you know he never gonna believe no black Jedi, man. He never gonna believe nothing coming out of my mouth. You know, old white man looking like a wizard and shit, speaking lies, MAGA lies in his head.
Dude, that's fucking
Make
hilarious.
Anakin great again.
Oh my God, bro.
But you know,
Make Anakin great
I could go
again.
far on this, bro. Far, like really?
I think we should rewrite Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah, I think you should rewrite Star Wars.
All right, man. History for fools. We're gonna rewrite Star Wars.